Hello, welcome. This is Business Now, reaching you live from iBrandTV News Studio, Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. Coming up, latest data from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited state petrol subsidy rises by 1.16 trillion naira in 11 months. Nigeria's external debt servicing gulps $520.78 billion or million dollars in the third quarter of 2021. Communications Authority of Kenya slashes mobile phone operators rate charge. And on the international scene, U.S. President Joe Biden says global supply chain issues are being handled amid crisis. And good to have you join us now. This is Business News Now, and here are business stories trending at this hour. I am Franco Malape. Now, the Nigerian Senate has passed a 2022 budget of 7.1 trillion naira against the 16.39 trillion naira sum presented by President Muhammadu Buhari. The passage of the bill was sequel to a report laid on the floor of the Senate during Wednesday plenary by Chairman Appropriation Committee Senator Barau Jibrin. The budget was increased by 735.8 billion naira.
The Senate consequently resolved to consult with the House of Representatives in January, when both the Senate and the House will be in session. Presently, the House of Reps has gone on recess. And like we all know, the constitutional provision is for the Senate and the House of Representatives to jointly take the appropriate action. The Senate also resolved to consult with our constituents during our recess in January. The Senate believes that our constituents have a role to play as the major stakeholders in the laws that we make in the National Assembly.
And similarly, the House of Representatives also passed the 2022 budget estimate submitted by President Muhammadu Buhari on October 10 with an increase of 735 billion naira. The House also extended the lifespan of the 2021 budget for an additional 3 months ending March 31, 2022, following a motion to that effect by the leader of the House, Al-Hassan Ado Jagoa of APC Kano. Jagoa said the extension of the lifespan was to allow funds to be made available from the 2021 budget for capital expenditure for projects captured in the budget as funding of such projects were hampered during the year. The lawmakers passed a budget of 7.1 trillion naira from the 2022 fiscal year as against the 16.3 trillion brought to the parliament by the president. And away from there now, Nigeria spent a sum of $520.78 million on external debt servicing in the third quarter of 2021, rising by 74.2% compared to $298.9 million recorded in the preceding quarter. This is contained in the quarterly debt report released by the Debt Management Office. A look at the data shows that a sum of $1.82 billion has been used to service external debts between January and September 2021. This is 43.9% higher than the $1.27 billion spent in the corresponding period of 2020. On the other hand, domestic debt servicing rose significantly by 150.5% from a 322.75 billion naira recorded in the second quarter of 2021 to 808.49 billion naira in the third quarter of the year. This takes the year-to-date domestic debt service to 1.74 trillion naira from 1.53 trillion naira recorded in the same period of 2020. And now the amount spent on subsidizing premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, rose to 1.16 trillion naira between January and November this year. The latest data from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited showed. The data also revealed that NNPC's remittances to the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee in the 11-month period dropped by 1.78 trillion naira. In its report on funding performance between January and November 2021, which was obtained in Abuja and West State, the oil firm said it had maintained a petrol subsidy since the beginning of the year. In the report, the NNPC referred to its subsidy spending as under recovery, as it had repeatedly stated that it had no authorization by the National Assembly to pay subsidy.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
Now, the governor of Bayelsa State, Dere, has advised the federal government to jettison a move to end the subsidy on premium motor spirit, otherwise called petrol. Dere said the planned removal of subsidies was not the best solution to the economic hardship facing the citizens. Speaking at the end of the year meeting of the Bayelsa Elders Council in Yenagoa, he also implored the federal government to review the current uniform subsidy deductions from the Federation account. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Lawrence Ekrujapo, reiterated his administration's commitment towards improving the infrastructure base of the state. Away from then, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on Wednesday announced that it earned 2.56 trillion naira revenue from the sale of white product, petrol, kerosene, and diesel in about 13 months. It also announced that 203.73 billion naira was made on the sale of white products in the month of July 2021 through its downstream subsidiary, the Petroleum Product Marketing Company. The figures were contained in the July 2021 NNPC Monthly Financial and Operations Report. A report revealed that total revenues generated from the sales of white products for the period July 2020 to July 2021 stood at over 2.56 trillion naira, where PMS also called petrol contributed about 99.67% of the total sales. It further stated that a total of 1.54 billion liters of petroleum products were sold and distributed by the PPMC in the month of July 2021, with PMS accounting for 99% of the total volume. And now, Oyo State Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde has signed the state 249.7 billion 2022 appropriation bill into law and granted approval to the state parliament for financial autonomy. Makinde assented the bill, christened Budget of Growth and Opportunities, alongside the autonomous bill that will pave the way for financial separation of powers between executive, legislative, and the judiciary.
And for the opportunity you have given us to serve you. Those people come and say, your administration, your government, it is not my administration, it is not my government, it is our administration. I am only the chief servant. And just on the sideline of this, of the signing of this appropriation bill into law, we've also signed the autonomy law for the Oyo State House of Assembly.
And in the meantime, the Federal Executive Council approved on West Delhi a total of 5.7 billion naira for water and agricultural projects. This was disclosed to State House correspondent after the virtual FEC meeting presided over by the President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Speaking at the briefing, the Minister of Water Resources, Sulaiman Adamu, said his ministry obtained approval for the execution of 2 water projects in Gashua, Yobe State. He said the project became expedient because of a rise in kidney diseases and kidney failure among people living in Gashua in the last few years, adding that they were approved at a sum of 3.51 billion naira. Now, the Adamawa State House of Assembly has approved a budget of 163.63 billion naira for the 2022 fiscal year. Following the passage, the House Speaker Aminu Iyabas, who presided over the plenary, directed the clerk to prepare a clean copy of the bill and send it to the governor for assent. Governor Ahmadu Finteri had on November 4, 2021 presented the 2022 proposed budget to the tune of 163.6 billion naira, comprising 98.8 billion naira recurrent expenditure representing 60%, while 64.7 billion naira representing 40% was allocated for capital expenditure. The Nigeria Customs Service said it has so far generated 2.3 trillion in revenue into the Federation account in 2021. Deputy National Public Relations Officer of NCS, Timi Boboni, disclosed this at a stakeholders meeting, media engagement on trade facilitation in Lagos Monday. Bamodi said the figure was higher than the 2021 target of 1.67 trillion naira. According to him, the year began with high expectations with regards to revenue generation and the enforcement of fiscal policy, and based on the 2022 target achieved, was given the onerous task of collecting 1.67 trillion naira. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has partnered the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDA, to establish an SME Digital Academy. Speaking at the launch, which took place at the Nexin House in Abuja recently, the Executive Vice Chairman of NCC, Umar Garubadambata, said the setting up of the scheme was based on the realization that in today's global economy, a borderless educational and economic system will be the next stage of the digital economy. The SME Digital Academy is the public-private partnership initiative being driven by the NNCC, SMEDA, and Safitu Learning Limited, a leading digital learning platform essentially to provide micro, small, and medium enterprises owners with digital skills to enhance their entrepreneurial skills according to them. The partnership also aims to equip entrepreneurs and startups with the necessary digital skills required to navigate the increasingly digitalized world. You're watching Business Now, coming to you live from iBrand News Studios. Still to come, European stocks seeing higher on signs of hope about Omicron. Details and more trending business stories after this break. Please stay with us.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
If you just join us, this is Business Now, coming to you live from iBrand News Studios here in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. And on the African scene now, the Communications Authority of Kenya on Wednesday cut the rate mobile phone operators charge each other for interconnecting customers by 0.87 shillings, or about 87.7%, signaling lower call tariffs. The regulator cut the charges commonly referred to as mobile termination rate from 0.99 Kenyan shillings to 0.12 Kenya shillings to match shifting technology that have made mobile telephony more efficient. It's unclear whether mobile operators Safaricom, Airtel, Kenya, and Telcom Kenya will cut their core tariffs in the wake of the reduction. However, the firms are not obligated to cut the consumer calling tariffs to match the 0.87 shillings cut in the termination charge. And still in Nairobi Metropolitan Service will now receive funds directly from the Exchange after striking a deal with City Hall. This is after the two entities signed a framework of transfer of funds developed by the National Treasury late last year, bringing to an end an impasse over the release of funds to NMS. The Anne Kananu-led City Hall and NMS have been embroiled in back and forth over funding of transferred functions, with the stalemate often leading to delayed payment of salaries for staff seconded to NMS. The tussle between the two administrations began with former Governor Mike Sonko refusing to release funds to Lieutenant General Mohammed Badi-led NMS, citing lack of law to allow the same. And on the international scene, European stocks are set to open slightly higher Thursday as traders look for signs that the Omicron COVID-19 variant is not as severe as previously feared. Britain's FTSE 100 is seen climbing 27 points to about 7,347, and Germany's DAX rising 51 points to 15,617 points, and the French CAC CAC up to 30 points at 7,068, according to data from IG. Investors reacted to a study of South Africa where the Omicron strain was first discovered, suggesting a reduced risk of hospitalization and severe disease compared to Delta. The study, which is not yet peer-reviewed, found people diagnosed with Omicron in South Africa from October 1 to November 3 were 80% less likely to be hospitalized than if they caught another variant in the same period. And now U.S. President Joe Biden has said government measures to tackle global supply chain issues have averted a pre-Christmas crisis. He was speaking ahead of a meeting with officials and company bosses, including transportation giant FedEx. In June, he created a task force to address rising prices and shortages of goods caused by pandemic. However, some business owners and industry experts say American firms are still facing supply problems. The much predicted crisis didn't occur, Biden said ahead of a meeting with his supply chain disruption task force and corporate executives. Well, I've been watching Business Now, coming to you live from iBrand News Studio. Up next is Entertainment Business.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment Business News. I am Michelle Abanum. The UK's biggest holiday park operator is set to release a selection of super saver Christmas deals with thousands of breaks available for less than €70. Pacton Resorts is offering 7,000 cut price breaks for just €69 with the deals on its website from Boxing Day until January 4th. Pacton Resorts was formed in November 2015 following the merger of Pacton Holidays and Park Resorts. Today it owns and operates 67 holiday parks across England, Scotland and Wales. Moving on, one of India's largest media deals has been cleared by the board of Zee Entertainment Enterprises, ZEAL. Zee on Wednesday morning announced that it had signed a definitive agreement to merge with Sony Pictures Network India, XPNI. The combined entity with revenue of 14,000 crore is India's second largest media firm. XPNI is an indirect subsidiary of Sony Pictures Entertainment, the California-based arm of the $82.5 billion Sony Corp. After the merger, it would indirectly hold a majority 50.86% of the combined company. The promoters of ZEAL will hold 3.99% and other ZEAL shareholders will hold 45.15%. ZEAL's current CEO and Managing Director, Punit Jankar, will lead the combined company. Sony Pictures Entertainment will pay a non-compete fee to the promoters of ZEAL, which will be used to infuse primary equity capital into XPNI. This will give the promoters approximately 2.11% of the shares of the combined company on a post-closing basis. And that's it on Entertainment Business News. I am Michelle Abanum.
And coming up now is Sport Business.
The National Basketball Association's Atlanta Hawks are close to selling the minority stake to U.S. private equity firm Delia Umcott Partners. The private equity investment will increase the Hawks' valuation from $1.8 billion to $2 billion. Majority stakeholder Tony Ressler bought the Hawks for $730 million in 2015, with the franchise having a 19% value increase in the last year. The increase in valuation is credited to the team's journey to the Eastern Conference Finals during the 2020-2021 season, as well as a planned $5 billion real estate development next to the franchise's State Farm Arena. And still talking sports business in the world of Formula One team Ferrari have revived their partnership with Spanish banking group Santander in a new multi-year deal. Santander was previously a sponsor of the Italian motorsport outfit from 2010 to 2017. Santander will now return as a premium partner of Ferrari, whose Formula One cars will feature the bank's logo, which will also appear on race suits and caps. The new partnership will also have a significant sustainability focus, with Santander set to offer Ferrari a range of solutions to support the team's efforts to become carbon neutral by 2030. The financial terms of the agreement were not made public, but it has been reported that the pair's previous deal was worth $50 million per year. And that's it on Sports Business. I'm Samson Oloyede.
All right, thank you, Samson, for sports news there. Well, this is all we have for you on Business Now at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Komalape. Bye-bye for now.